direct method, we use the apparatus. Name of apparatus. Apparatus using for that is meter scale. Number 1. Number 2, it is the vernier calipers. Number 3, it is a spherometer. It is a spherometer or a screw gauge. A screw gauge. So by using this meter scale, the range of length measured may be up to from 10 to the power minus 3 to 10 to the power 2 meter. By using these vernier calipers, we can measure the length up to the accuracy of the accuracy of 10 to the power minus 4 meter. Up to the accuracy of 10 to the power minus 4 meter. And by using this spherometer or a screw gauge, we can measure the length up to the accuracy of 10 to the power minus 5 meter. So you have already seen the meter scale. What is meter scale? Another type of a scale is vernier calipers. These are the vernier calipers. By using this vernier calipers, we can measure the small length, and the length may be as small as 10 to the power minus 4 meter. And by using another type of a scale, that is, see this apparatus, this is a screw gauge. This is a screw gauge, another type, and this is a spherometer. This is a spherometer. So by using these two apparatus, this is a screw gauge and this is a spherometer. By using these two apparatus, we can measure a distance up to minimum value of 10 to the power minus 5 meter. So, but the question is, how can we measure long distance? Suppose we want to measure distance of a planet. Suppose you want to distance of moon. Suppose you want to distance a size of the moon. How can we measure? These apparatus cannot be used for measuring that very large distance. So in that condition, we use some indirect method. So indirect method is used. It is used to measure number 1, very large distance, and very small distance too. Suppose you want to measure size of an atom, then we cannot use. This apparatus is not useful for measuring the size of the atom, size of the molecules, etc. And if you want to measure the distance of sun, distance of planet, distance of stars, then also we cannot use this method. So for measuring both, that is very large distance and very small distance, indirect method is used for that. So first our purpose is to measure distance of measurement for a body situated at a very large distance. So just we will see. So measurement of very large distance by indirect method. First of all, here we want to explain what is parallax. There is a term that is called parallax. So what is parallax? What is parallax? Just see the activity first. See the activity. Suppose this is your eye This is your another eye. Suppose this is I1 and this is I2. And in front of your eyes there is a pencil here. Suppose this pencil is P and background is wall. This is the wall background. This is the wall background. Now just you will use your eyes one by one. Suppose your second eye is closed and you are seeing this pencil over the wall in its background. So what will be the position of pencil over the wall? You will see that your pencil's projection is here. Suppose this position is at A. If you use your E2 eye, you shut your eye E1 and see the pencil by using your eye E2. You will see this pencil at another location, that is at B. So the projection of pencil on the background is changed. This is the pencil and this is the position of projection of pencil on the background. This position of projection is changed on the wall if we change the position of observation. This is the observation point. Your first eye is one observation point. This is the second observation point. First observation point gives the position of pencil at A and second observation point shows the projection of pencil P on B. So projection position is changed if we change the position of observation. So this is called parallax. So what is parallax? Parallax is the change in position of projection of a body if the point of observation is changed. If the point of observation is changed, and this method is very useful in finding a very large distance. So just we will see, just by using this method, we will try to measure the distance of a planet from the surface of Earth. So we are going to find the distance of planet from Earth's surface. Suppose this is the planet S and we want to measure its distance from the ground. So take two positions on the ground. Suppose this position is A, this is the first observation point, and B is second observation point. And this is actually ground. This is actually ground. So this is first observation point, and you can observe this planet. You may observe this planet by using a telescope. Again, you can observe the planet from B using telescope. Our purpose is to find this angle. Situation should be clear. We want to measure distance D of the planet from the ground, and we are looking this planet at from two different locations, location A and location B. Suppose we are looking this planet S from here. Suppose this is a telescope. By using a telescope, we are looking S. There may be a scale situated or connected with your telescope. First of all, we will take the reading of telescope when it is in vertical position here. So this position will give on a scale, this is 0 degree, this may be 10 degree, 20 degree, this may be 30 degree. Suppose this angle is 30 degree. Suppose it is theta 1. Theta 1 is 30 degree. Similarly, we will set telescope here for vertical position. Again, this telescope will give the reading for vertical position, and just you rotate this telescope to see this planet. Again, you have to turn this telescope through an angle theta 2. This is theta 2. So what will be the angle this theta? Actually, this theta will be equal to the sum of theta 1 and theta 2. And you can proof this why this theta will be equal to theta 1 and theta 2. If we drive perpendicular line, a vertical line through S, then you can see these two are vertical lines, and this line are intersecting the two vertical lines. So this angle and this angle will be same. Here it is theta 1. This angle is theta 1 because these two lines are parallel. So these two angles will be same. Again, this angle is theta 2, and again these are two parallel lines, and this line is intersecting the parallel lines. So this angle and this angle will also be same. So we can say that theta will be equal to theta 1 plus theta 2. So here theta is equal to theta 1 plus theta 2, and this is called parallax angle. This is called parallax angle, or it is also called parallactic angle. This is also called parallactic angle. As we know that the planet is very large. Planet is situated at a very large distance from the ground, and these two positions, that is observation point 1 and observation point 2, are very less in comparison to D. And these 2 points of observation, the distance between them is called basis. This is called basis, and it is represented by B. So this length is B and this length is D. So since the value of B by D is very less than 1, very less than 1. So we may assume that S is the center. S is the center of a circle, having arc AB. That is called basis. So in this condition we can write therefore theta is equal to B by D. Theta is equal to, you know that theta is equal to arc by radius. So we can write this is the arc, this is the center, and this may be treated as a part of circumference, that is called a part of circumference, that is called basis here. So we can find this theta. So theta can be measured by using this telescope. So if theta is known and B is also known, because the distance between two observations on the ground, we can measure it. So the value of D can be measured. Therefore, the value of D will be equal to D by theta. So this is the distance of planet from ground. In this way, we can measure it. Now we want to measure the size of a planet. How can we measure size of a planet? Size of a planet. So suppose there is a planet and we are going to measure its diameter B from the ground. Suppose we are standing here and we are looking at A. Again we are looking at another end, that is B, and we can measure theta also. This is the line of sight of A, this is the line of sight of B from the observer. Here O is the observer. And the angle between two line of sights, this has to be measured. So by using the same method, that is, we can use here telescope also, and we can find the value of theta. Here theta is called angular diameter, and this is the distance of this planet from the ground, that this value has already been measured. So here d is known and theta is the measured value, and we have to find a small d. Here also, since capital D is given, and theta is measured by using a telescope, circular scale. So here also we can see that the value of d by d is very, very less than 1. Therefore, we can apply the formula theta is equal to d by capital D. Therefore, diameter of the planet, that is d, will be equal to d theta. This can be measured. So d is known value and theta is getting measured using telescope. So we can find the diameter of planet. In the same way, we can find diameter of moon or another planet. Now, as we know that SI unit of angle is radian. Suppose value is given in degrees, angle may be given in degrees, may be given in minute, may be given in second. So now we want to discuss the conversion of degree into minute and into second. Since SI unit of angle is radian. In a small it is also written as radian. Since 180 degree is equal to pi radian. Therefore, 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radian. If we can divide pi by 180, pi means pi is 22 by 7, that is 3.14 divided by 180. If we calculate this value, then we will get 1.745 into 10 to the power minus 2 radian. So we can write 1 degree is equal to 1.745 into 10 to the power minus 2 radian. Since 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes, 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes, and since 1 degree is equal to 1.745 into 10 to the power minus 2 radian, therefore 1 minute is equal to 1.745 by 60 into 10 to the power minus 2 radian, and after calculation we can get 1 minute is equal to 2.91 into 10 to the power minus 4 radian. Also we want to measure the value of second, since 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds and 1 minute is equal to 2.91 into 10 to the power minus 4 radian. Therefore 1 second is equal to 2.91 divided by 60 into 10 to the power minus 4 radian, and after calculating this value we can get it is 4.85 into 10 to the power minus 6 radian. 6 radian. So it is clear that you can write 1 degree is a 1.745 into 10 to the power minus 2 radian. 1 minute is equal to 2.91 into 10 to the power minus 4 radian, and 1 second is equal to 4.85 into 10 to the power minus 6 radian. So remember, if we have to calculate some numerical problem, then you must have to put the value of angle in radian. So whatever may be the unit given in the problem, maybe in degree, maybe in minute, maybe in second, you have to convert that values of degree, minute and second into radian. After putting the value of radian, we can calculate the problem.